Hello, Gelato Familia. It is George, the Disney Italiano, coming to you with another live. I got two of my best buds here. We got Tommy Toon, welcome in. And then, of course, we got Mr. Theme Park Conductor, who just happened to hijack this live. So,
a little bit.
But in any case, I'm so glad that you're both able to join this live because we got some ghoulish, delightful kind of conversation that needs to be had. But before we do, Tommy, so glad to see you, man. It's been a while since you've been on Holo Gelato. It's nice to have you back.
Yeah, it's great to be back on. You know, I'm hanging out with these guys nonstop, but to actually get on, it takes a little bit of time. You know me, I don't hop on the live streams often, but
yeah, this guy literally hopped on a plane just to have dinner with us, and then he left.
Yeah. 100%, man. I can't miss the birthday, man. A conductor, man, and George. You know I'm always rocking with you. That was a fun one. But yeah, man, you can find me at TommyToon_ at Instagram and TikTok. I changed the TikTok and YouTube, TommyToon_ world. I'm getting 2 food reviews out from 2 restaurants at Disneyland. So check my page for that when it drops. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. Holo Gelato Conductor. Let's talk horror, movies, theme parks, everything.
Awesome. And again, what is a Holo Gelato live without the one and only Mr. Theme Park Conductor? It's just, it's just that piece of puzzle that's missing, that's stuck to the bottom of the box with a coffee stain on it. You know,
that's an interesting analogy.
Terrible description.
That was interesting. Oh, dear God.
Conductor, so glad to have you on. And if you want to let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
Absolutely. Well, I want to give a big shout out to Holo Gelato and Tommy Toon World. Both are my partners in crime. Tommy Toon World is my partner in crime in the parks, especially for the haunt season. He is up and ready and willing and motivated. He is the young Steven Spielberg of our time for food reviews, so definitely go check out his legendary food reviews. Holo Gelato is my partner in crime, freaking almost a 12-hour live stream straight. I think I only had 1 bathroom break. Man, that's a record.
I don't think I even went that day. I think I just waited till we were done.
Well, you have more patience than I do. I'll promise you that.
Well, I guess my bladder did.
Yeah, exactly. But you can find me Theme Park Conductor on YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor, on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we have amazing guests like the one, the only Mr. Holo Gelato with his spicy Disney Italian theme park opinions, and Tommy Toon World, like I mentioned, the young Steven Spielberg of our time with his world-famous food reviews in the parks. Definitely go check out both these gentlemen because they have been on the show many, many times before, and they will continue to be regular guests on the show as we move forward.
Awesome sauce. All right. So before we get into it, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. Of course, the hello to my gelato, Abby in the house. And then we got Spencer Walker. Welcome in. We got Lene Ward. All right. We got Lene in the house. And then you can't have Lene without Mark McHugh. You have to have it. They're the dynamic duo here. And Giant Peter Adventures. I love that. Halloween, everyone. I like that.
I do.
I like that. I might have to keep that. And then he goes on The Haunting of Gelato.
Oh,
you got him done.
And then Lene, just want to make sure everyone, can you see us? Can you hear us? Are we not buffering anymore? Are we good? Just want to know.
Psyching out.
Yeah. See, Mark says, and this is why you got kidney stones.
It's probably because of me, but
see, Mark said, oh man.
All
right. So I thought we would discuss basically the genre of horror, and honestly, and how it is basically making a comeback. I think honestly, out of all the genres, a lot of people kind of tend to wait to like shy away from horror because they don't know how intense it is and what have you. But I think when it comes to the theater experience, we'll start there. We'll start in the theaters because this is how it'll make an impact into the theme parks eventually. Um, with horror in the theater, I feel like it kind of suspends you of all reality because you're basically in a dark room with a bunch of strangers watching this movie on a big screen that you just don't know what is going to happen. And I think they're really knocking out a lot of heavy hitters, basically with Sinners. I mean, literally, it had the most Academy Award nominations of the award season. And then just recently, Obsession, which I am obsessed with. I love that movie. Backrooms. And I want to hear from you guys just in general. I'd even say even Scream 7. You know, a lot of people liked it. They didn't, you know, what have you. But I mean, I feel like the genre of horror is coming back in a big way. And I want to hear you guys' take on it. Do you guys feel the way that I feel? Like, what's your take on it?
Tommy?
Yeah, sure, man. This is a great topic. So I'm glad you put Scream in there too, because, you know, the thing with these horror movies, there's a lot of them. And when they come out, most of the time they're not fresh and new. They're just a numbered sequel, a remake, a redo. So to get Obsession is something else, but we'll come back to that. For me, I know when stuff comes out that's horror, I'll go see it immediately in the movie theater for what you just described, Hollow Gelato. Just you never know. You're trying to go for that escape. That escapism a movie takes you in, but with horror, it could give you an adrenaline rush too. It could give you stuff that you don't normally have in a normal movie, right? The emotions that go through a horror movie are pretty crazy. So with that said, too, okay, there's always a lot of flops, you know, but we've been hitting them pretty hard lately. You're talking about Sinners. Michael B. Jordan hit on the Oscars with that big time, and the whole production and the whole movie. It's funny because even like a year before, maybe 2 years before, Demi Moore tried to win for The Substance for Best Actress, right? They didn't give it to her though. So horror is more prominent than ever right now in the movie theater because you see it taking out juggernauts like Mandalorian and Grogu, possibly. That was one of them that, you know, really sparked our interest. How did Obsession take over on that? Yeah, exactly, Giant Peter. Yeah, Freaky Nicky. This movie's crazy. I saw it the night before it came out and then the next day. So I saw it twice back to back. And I knew it was going to be something, but I didn't know it was going to take the world by storm and get in the top 10 highest grossing horror movies of all time. I mean, what do you think, Conductor?
So I actually agree with you. I think, you know, looking at, you know, horror movies in general from when we were all growing up to now, I think a lot of them, you know, are getting more, what's the word I'm looking for? They're getting more interesting and more intense because think about it, you know, movies have evolved over the decades. They have, especially horror movies. And now we're starting to see them come to life even more, not just on screen, but in person, like at Halloween Horror Nights or Not Scary Farm or Fright Fest or, you know, all these different after dark events. So I do agree that, you know, some of these horror movies are leading into future developments for the parks. And that's what it's kind of that's what it's kind of tied into. It's kind of getting to that point where, you know, that's what the theme parks have always kind of grasped at. You know, a movie comes out, is it going to do the numbers that we want it to do? And if it does, how do we incorporate that into a public setting? where people can enjoy it, they can experience it, in a different way than they might experience it, watching it on screen. That's the way I look at it.
That's actually a very good viewpoint of that. And honestly, and I agree with you too. I feel like horror movies have become a little more intense also with an actual structured storyline.
Yeah.
I feel like back in the day when you had like the classic slasher movie, up until, we started getting into like Jason and Michael Myers and everything, but just that classic slasher, there was like no rhyme or reason. It was just like there was this psycho killer that's just going around slashing people just because, Then they started getting into where, okay, these, figures have a motive as to what they're doing and why they're doing it. Now we're getting to a level with Obsession and even Back Rooms where it tends to be a psychological horror in your mind. And it's almost like you have to really focus on what's going on, because otherwise you kind of get lost. But it's you don't get lost in the sense where it bores you, it intrigues you, it makes you want to see more. And I think honestly, again, kind of going back back to back with Scream 7 and Sinners and Back Rooms and Obsession, I think moving forward, and even the director of Obsession, Curry Barker, said that he is planning on a sequel. He's not going to do it right now. He's kind of like letting Obsession kind of breathe, but he said it's not going to be 5 or 6 years down the road either. So he has a very interesting story of what that sequel is going to be. But
let me ask you guys this, because one of the things, you made a great point, Hollow Gelato, because when you look at the horror movies back then, a lot of slashers, and it was a lot of like thrill intense action. Now it's kind of like you still get that, but it's more of a storyline. So do you think, like the directors nowadays, like Jason Blum, for example, he's looking at it and saying, well, we can still incorporate the slasher type mentality into the movie, but we want it to more tell a story and have that as the focal point and not so much as a slasher, kind of changing up the game a little bit. And that's why we're seeing a lot of these different type of movies with these different type of storylines. And then another question I have is, how much is AI playing into this? That's another question. Because we're seeing AI.
I like where you're going with the AI and everything. So for me, I feel like, kind of playing off with your last one you just asked with the AI, I feel like horror is trying to defeat the part of what you just mentioned, the AI, because Terrifier took the world by storm, and that's almost all practical effects. So I feel like,
and it's an indie horror.
It's an indie horror.
It started off as nothing.
Right, started as nothing. So nowadays, you either have to prove yourself if you have like an idea for an IP like Terrifier, or if you're ready to make a horror movie like Curry Barker and do Obsession, you either have to prove yourself with a low budget and a certain time crunch and deal with what you got, and still show that you can pull it off and be scary to elevate to get the pay you want for the next movie. But then what I always notice with horror that I really like is that even from back in the day, like 20 years ago, 10, 20 years ago, when Walking Dead's on TV.
Oh, yeah.
people watch horror. Well, here, let me rephrase this. The industry watches horror to grab the next actor and actress, right? Excuse me. So for the last 2 years, it was like Jenna Ortega. Okay, so she popped up in Scream 5, Scream 6, X, and then that's what got her on the Wednesdays, because it shows her range. I feel like the horror movie, you can hire a no-name. They could show their range of acting, crying, being scared, laughing, and it still like projects to being a megastar. Now, Indy Navarrete, the one that plays Nikki in Obsession, I mean, she has almost 2 million followers. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's crazy. Like, and she didn't even have under 400K like when the movie started. It's crazy. Like,
See,
if you were-
that's what I think the hidden ingredient is with all this is what you actually were just talking about, Tommy, was the smaller budget movies. I feel like with the smaller budget, the more practical effects you get. The more practical effects you get, the more realistic it looks. When
Yeah.
you do bring in a lot of what you were talking about, Conductor, with the AI and the graphics and the technology, it kind of throws you out of it because you look at it and sometimes too much technology looks fake.
It does.
And
Oh, go ahead.
oh no, really quick. And the other last thing I wanted to say was, and then also when you get new faces for the cast,
Yeah.
people that you don't recognize, they're newbies, it makes it more realistic because you're like, okay, who are these people? I'm invested because you really think that these actors are these people, because it's not saying, oh, there's Ryan Gosling as so and so, here's Pedro Pascal as so and so. It's a newbie kind of person.
Sure.
But go ahead, Conductor.
No, I agree with you. You know, you don't want to on a movie or even a TV series or even, what we're going to get into eventually in this live is, the experiences based off the IP in the parks, like Halloween Horror Nights, Not Scary Farm, so on and so on. If you have too much going on, because you have to think about it, when people experience something or they watch something on screen, if there's too much noise going on and people that are watching can't focus on what's actually going on because there's just too much going on, then people get lost in translation. They're like, okay, well, do I really want to maybe go see this again because it was just way too much? The storyline was just over the top. And we've kind of said that off and on other things like nighttime shows, like at Disneyland. Epic Universe is coming out with a new nighttime show, and they did a preview of it for the media night. And the problem that they all kind of relate to, even the movie industry, is I think at times they try to pump up a project so much, they put so much emphasis into that project, when the end result comes out, it's not necessarily what they wanted to begin with. It's too much, and then people just get lost. They don't know how to translate it in their mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does. That makes a lot of sense, man. The thing with horror, though, is like, I like how you say you integrate it into the parks and stuff, because HHN's Universal's big cash cow.
Yeah.
But the thing with horror is people are always going to search for that feeling it gives you while still being safe, tucked away in a movie theater, at your house, at a theme park. And that escapism's real, man. I mean, we could escape into any movies, science fiction. A lot of those times those cross paths, science fiction and horror. I do see potential in these movies coming, especially that John Murdy's already finished like the fourth house for next year. I mean, that definitely proves a point that these may already come. The only bad thing about John Murdy working early is now next year's movies, what if something blows up? We're not going to be able to get that in. It always takes a year.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, we were talking about Sinners. Oh, we need Sinners. The year before that, we're like, oh, we need Terrifier. They give us Terrifier. They give us Sinners. They're always one. FNAF, we've been talking about FNAF forever. They always take a year to get it, but they get it, and they listen.
They do.
I'll take a Backrooms and Obsession House. The only thing is I think Backrooms would be more like a Fallout where you're not scared, you just want to feel it. It's just the liminal space. HHN isn't so big and wide. I know though Obsession would make it.
Yeah.
I could already think of like 4 to 6 scenes already that I would play through. And then at the end, have them playing that music, But then it's something else, dude.
Well, actually, that's a great segue. Let's move into that as far as like integrating horror into the theme parks, particularly with Halloween Horror Nights, because this is like, I think, the crown jewel of like getting these IPs, these stories into the theme park setting. But before we do, I just want to bring up Peter's question. I don't know if you guys seen it or heard of it as of right now, but what are your guys' thoughts on the Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Sphere?
Oh, I just saw that on Instagram, that dropping. I didn't see a date, Peter. I need a date. I'll go for sure for that, man. If it's going to be like
honestly, anything in the Sphere would be
that's insane. I've only been to the Sphere once, and it was for the Earth show, and that blew my mind. So I couldn't even imagine like something like horror. Because I didn't do a concert there either. I mean, it's pretty pricey. I mean, there's not many seats.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, in the Sphere, I mean, something that gigantic of seeing Tim Curry in pantyhose and stilettos. I mean, that's gonna be interesting.
And real quick, before we dive in, I want to go back to movies real quick.
Yeah,
what you just said, Tim Curry. I mean, It from Bill Skarsgård is the #1 highest grossing horror movie of all time. And that's a remake of Tim Curry's, which is just based off a Stephen King book. So, if we're not getting a Stephen King horror movie script or something with the sequel number like Scream, even if Scream's bad or if it's a split audience or if there's some drama behind the scenes, people have to go see it. And having Marlon Wayans and Shawn Wayans come out with Scary Movie 6 during peak horror is insane and good for them because I know their money's probably booming off of that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And honestly, and I really hope, as I said, I have my own personal thoughts with Scary Movie 6. Unfortunately, I liked it. I wanted to love it, but if this is what it takes to bring the Wayans brothers back in that way and make more, maybe this is the way that they had to kind of bring it out to say, hey, you know what? We're going to make the movie that we want to make. We're not taking no crap from nobody. We don't care what y'all say or whatever.
Yeah, the movie's not the best movie, but it's not the worst one either. So
no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Number 5.
Imagine that Ghostface chasing you as a joke at HHN. I mean, that's funny. You'll be laughing.
Yeah, like what if they did take that approach? What if they took the horror base but made it more comical? Because there were still moments in those movies where it gave you that suspense feel, even though that something funny was going to come out. But it still kind of gave you that chilling factor that something was going to happen.
Yeah, dude, I know they kill people off every Scary Movie, and I know they don't keep them killed off because it's just the actor they bring him back. It's a spoof. So, I'm like, oh, man, they killed him off. Oh, no, he'll be back. If they do another one, they'll bring him back. It's all good.
Yeah,
No
absolutely.
plot points at all. You know what I mean? In those.
Yeah. Now, again, kind of staying with what we were talking about, like bringing the horror genre, into the parks. It's already very popular with HHN at Universal. And Tommy, you and I were kind of talking about it a little bit when we were at dinner, when you were down here at Disneyland, where we were kind of fleshing out our way of how we would approach an Obsession haunted house.
Oh, I have it.
And you and I kind of like were on that same base where we were like, okay, where you start outside of the house.
Yep.
And Bear is in the car, he's making that wish,
yep.
And then all of a sudden you just see her just like the silhouette just standing, but people have to go around her to get into the house.
Oh, wow. That's insane. And then right after that, we could have them, let's say, laying in bed. So it's a scene that you watch. You know, sometimes you walk through.
Well, we know what Peter's role would be for that one.
100%.
But this is what I'm saying. So then the next scene is her with the dead cat presenting it to you in the next scene. Oh, you know, I tried to do a surprise or whatever, right?
Dude,
yeah. What else?
Really quick, can you imagine that being one of the food offerings that year?
The dead cat burger.
Dead cat burger.
That's what it's gonna be. You're right. It's gonna be a tuna sandwich, probably. Yeah. The same one we got for Fast and the Furious. No, I was just kidding.
I know, right?
But yeah, dude, I'm trying to tell you. Then one scene could be in the music store, and they're just talking. The next one could be like her when she's peeing. Then, of course, the iconic one where she's standing in the shadows, and he's like, "Come back to bed." That's insane. The actress they have to get for these are crazy because remember, there's only like 3 kills. There may be 4. I'm not including like the cat. I mean, there may be only a couple, but of course, when you're getting to the end, you have to have the car scene.
Oh yeah, that was the biggest jump scare for me.
Right.
Was like when she's like running up to the car.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
And then one of the stores, you have to go in that store to get the One Wish Willow. Man, he'll be like, "Oh, we're all sold out," or "There's one left," or whatever. Then the next one could be the dude snapping it and be like, "I got $1 billion." It could be like money coming, fake money in the area. You know what I mean? I don't know, dude. We got it. Then the last scene is, dude. You could just see her in the. Remember in the restaurant too. We could reverse a little bit. She could be doing the whole restaurant skit for you. Dude, we have the whole movie, bro.
Basically, yeah. As we move along in the house, it's the genesis of how she goes from being kind of lovey-dovey to obsessed, you know, to where it goes to the end where literally Bear has to do the unimaginable to literally break the spell, so to speak, you know, and it's
that first one though, that first room or that first entrance is going to get everybody because you're going to be seeing him do the skit, and then she pops out right there underneath the light, and it's just like all shadowed. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. Now going to back rooms, because I think back rooms would be so. I think that would work more than I think any haunted house, because it literally, the whole movie is a labyrinth. It's a maze. Or even if they didn't even do it as a house, what if they did it as something of like a maze, like where it's outdoors but it's indoors kind of thing, where you don't know which way to turn and you kind of get lost and you hear these sounds and you hear these people and like it becomes a psychological thing.
Yeah. See, that is pretty scary. For me, I would need that in a sound stage then, or like you said, outside. I don't know if Universal would, they like to guide you out, so I don't know if we would get that unless it was like a fan fest thing. If they brought a fan fest element to HHN and did like what they did for Dungeons and did that, I could see it your way for sure, George.
Yeah.
That would be insane. Like I said, I'm nervous about back rooms because you need big, wide spaces. But if not, you could be walking into Clark's furniture store. One of the lights could be flickering. The actor could be messing with the lights. Then, you know, you could pretend that there's a fly and then there's the blue tape.
So, really quick, so John is just asking for not too many spoilers for back room.
Oh,
don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, I know. I'm over here telling the whole movie.
But you could do that. You could put it, you know, a great spot for that if you want it indoors. If you want it all indoors, I would say Soundstage 12 would be a perfect location.
Was that Universal Monsters one year?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would need the biggest sound stage. Right? You would need the biggest sound stage for back rooms.
Yeah.
Because the way that the rooms are designed in the movie, they're basically gigantic. They're basically hollow.
Yeah.
And it's like it just keeps on going on for miles. So you can kind of break it down by making barriers of like the walls and stuff. But yeah, you would need it on a much grander scope.
Definitely.
And then of course there are some figures, I will say, I won't give it away, within the back rooms that I think honestly you add them to that experience. I think especially like the finale kind of thing, that would I think that's what would scare people most, is not really necessarily seeing them, it's hearing them. It's hearing something come at you and you don't know what it is.
Oh, for sure.
Well, and a lot of the jump scares could be just like the actors too. They show them. It could be Clark reaching out after you, like, did you turn the lights off? I don't know, because I know like a lot of space, and then what you said. So I'm not going to give it away, but like we could have one of the rooms where it's like the camcorder person. He's like, oh, where do I go? Where do I go? You know what I mean? It could be one of the rooms that's like on a slant, or you get the Christmas tree room. I mean, it could be.
Oh yeah, you can
everything.
Yeah. And Peter says, I will say one spoiler: theme park conductor is playing the adult version of Sid in Toy Story 5.
Oh, great. I kind of look the part. I kind of do.
Might as well be him for D23.
If I keep it up with this hairstyle, I might have to.
Yeah. Get the shirt.
100%. No, but trying to incorporate these IPs into a public setting where there's low light, hardly any visibility, there's jump scares around every corner or every other corner. I think Universal has done that pretty well. I think that would be pretty awesome. And I agree with Cal Missing. He said it would be good to have two mazes back to back on stage 12. Yeah, because stage 12 is humongous. Like, I mean, they used Soundstage 12 for some of the biggest movies back in the day. You had the Grinch. They built a huge Whoville set. They used it for Jurassic Park. They've used it for
Scarface, right?
Yeah, Scarface, Bride of Frankenstein. You name it, and it's been filmed in there. So it's just like, oh my God. So to be honest, if they wanted to do one house, I'm just saying, if they wanted to do one house, I would say Backrooms would be perfect for that.
Now, Tommy, I didn't get a chance to see this movie yet, but I know you have. Passenger. Can you see that being utilized with HHN as far as like utilizing the tram?
So I have a pretty good gauge of what horror movies are going to blow up. Mm-hmm. Mind you, shout out Markiplier or whatever. I didn't see Iron Lung. We're not talking about that. None of us seen that. That came out like February, March. That was a YouTuber too with this show or this thing called Iron Lung. It was horror. Really big. Check it out. I'm sure some viewers know. These YouTubers are really going into horror directing. I mean, we had what was that movie last year by Chris Stuckman? But anyways, we're going to move forward. So Passenger isn't one of those ones that's going to stretch farther than that, unfortunately. It's not because it was sandwiched in between Obsession and Backrooms. It just wasn't everything you want. I mean, I've seen almost every horror movie this year, not Iron Lung. But just to be honest, those two are probably the biggest, Backrooms and Obsession. You know what I mean? I don't think, the one with Zazie Beetz is going to fly. I don't think the one with Daisy Ridley. I don't think Send Help. These are all really good movies. They all got rated pretty well. They kept me intrigued. They had a lot of blood, a lot of story. You need that too. It wasn't it. You know what I mean? I know for a fact Evil Dead is usually big, so I still think Evil Dead Burn's coming. We didn't get that movie yet. We're getting Resident Evil. I hope it's good. Has nothing to do with the games, really. The guy said he didn't base it on the games at all. It's in the lore, but we got Last of Us when that came out.
What was it? What was that movie called again? what Evil Dead Burn?
Evil Dead Burn, because so we got Evil Dead Rise
Oh.
1 year. I know Conductor remembers that.
It sounded like the title of my ex having a UTI.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh no!
Here we
45 minutes in, we got one.
go. Yeah, finally got one. I knew it was coming.
We needed that. But like I said, man, I'm gonna wrap up. We'll go to you, Conductor. But we got FNAF last year. People were freaking out. We're gonna get Sinners. We're gonna get Sinners this year. People are gonna freak out. They always need one big movie from the new age, and then we need to get some old stuff. Like, please bring Hellraiser.
Yes.
Wait, now before we move on to Conductor, Tommy, I just have a question for you, because while you were explaining that, you said those movies didn't have it. They didn't have that it factor.
Yeah.
All the movies that you were saying.
Yeah.
What is that it factor for you that separates them from Obsession and Backrooms? What did Obsession and Backrooms have that all those other movies didn't, that just didn't hit right?
I would say story. Sinners got story. They all have story. Send Help had story though. So let me just break that down. But it's all of it. You need the sense of wonder without them giving away too much, but still completing the story for you wanting more. So Sinners wrapped it up perfectly. You didn't really want more after. That's like a golden, a gold one. Like, I don't know. That's like a diamond in the rough. That's what I meant to say. But these other Backrooms and Obsession, they leave you wanting more, and you go back and watch it again. You know what I mean? Like you said, like, Obsession may get a part 2 or a TV series called One Wish Willow. Everybody wants more the way they ended it. Backrooms ended abruptly. Yeah, it kind of ended off the story, but man, the lore goes on forever.
Mm-hmm.
You could just think about it. These other ones are kind of cut and paste horror. They try. You could see when someone's really trying and when someone just gives it their all. And for instance, it's not easy to make a movie. I mean, whenever I tackle a horror movie, I'm sure it's not going to be an easy task. But, even Chris Stuckman's movie, my bad, I'm butchering it. I don't remember the name. He had me drawn in for the first 30 minutes, but after that, it was a wrap. I got bored. Mm-hmm. So are you scared, first of all? Is it cringe or corny? I know I'm the Colossus of cringe. So I don't need to be talking about cringe. I mean, look up my name. It's next to that Colossus of cringe. But
that's your rap name now. It's Colossus of Cringe, like that.
Dude, it is. When that version comes out, it's it, man. I don't care too. I'll take it. But I may have a better answer for you another time, but that's just what it is. You just need the sense of wonder while still being scared and not being fed everything right in front. But not too vicious either. Yeah. I know Terrifier's different. That's pretty vicious. But
Terrifier is like once in a blue moon kind of thing that he can kind of get away with. Because even that he is vicious, but the way that he does it with this kind of like
look, he's like wants to look
like this arrogant attitude, like
a dog or a toddler.
Look at me, look what I'm doing. I'm sawing this person in half.
Yeah, like toddler. Look what I'm doing, Ma. Look. So and granted, we suck too. We didn't mention Hokum. So Hokum came out in March or May as well, and that movie was pretty good too. But it was more of like environmental horror. People were talking about, they wanted that at HHN. But right when these other two movies came out, kind of got pushed to the back burner. I kind of knew Hokum wouldn't be the thing, but everybody's freaking out over that movie too. If these two movies never came out, everybody would be talking about Hokum.
I do have to agree with you in the sense how I would do it, though. I would do a sequel movie of Obsession. I would do a series of Backrooms. I feel like there's a lot of backstory, no pun intended, of Backrooms that hasn't been explored yet, but I think that could be done in a series platform.
Right. And I'm vice versa on you. I think Backrooms needs another movie because all the YouTube series of it already is out. And then we need One Wish Willow because all of those don't have to be horror. He could do something, Curry Barker said, there's one plot hole. People would have been wishing for dragons and stuff, and the One Wish Willow isn't cursed. He said what Bear wished for was just downright insanity and not right for a person to wish. But you could be wishing for the guy that wished for $1 billion. Sorry, spoilers, man, my bad. But the guy wasn't supposed to die. Like, that's just using the wrong place at the wrong time with Nikki. If I didn't watch the interviewer with Curry saying that, I thought it was vice versa. I thought he got killed by Nikki, the guy that had the $1 billion, the best friend, because he got the $1 billion. So he went over there and, you know, he wished for $1 billion. So like he was going to die no matter what. I didn't realize there's no curse on it. So like you could go wish for money and you might be straight the whole movie. That's why this is pretty interesting. I mean, this could go to different genres, and he's good in comedy too, Curry Barker. So you never know. But the next movie he's making is something about ghosts. It has Aaron Paul in it. That's Jesse from, Breaking Bad, dude. And I don't know if you guys know, but the premise is him and his partner in crime have a ghost hunting business, and then they, it's fraud, and then they really encounter an entity, and then that's where the movie starts. So like he has potential, man, and now he's gonna get the money for it, right? Now he has the money to back it up because this is number 9 in the top 10 grossing movies of all time of horror, right? And he could go up even more. He could surpass even more. He could surpass Get Out. He just surpassed Us. So, we never know what we're getting.
Well, and I think too, and a lot of people think that this week for Obsession, it's going to be ending because of Toy Story 5. I don't necessarily believe that. I feel like Obsession is still going to have legs even after Toy Story 5 because I feel like that is a completely different demographic.
Right.
Because it's for kids, it's for families. I feel like there's like a niche market when it comes to horror. And I feel like that despite people of all ages wanting to go see Toy Story 5, it's projecting 150, 175 million opening weekend. We're going to go see it ourselves on Thursday, but I still think Obsession is still going to have legs.
Yeah.
I think so too, because if you think about it, it's still going to gain that audience, and then it's going to get a bump up. You know why? Because a lot of people like Tommy Tune and, others that are going to be going to Midsummer Scream in, was it August? They could have some of the creative, directors for Obsession. They could have one of the actors there. They could have.
The actress is going to be there, actually. The one she gets her head smashed in, she's going to be there.
Well, see, that's what I mean.
I was close to going. I was this close of thinking of going to Midsummer.
That's what I mean. It's not necessarily going to die off. Yeah. It might slow down, but it's not going to die off.
Well, so remember, we get Odyssey and Spider-Man. Man, dude, I hate to do it. I hate to branch off real quick off horror.
No. This is cool because, as I said, I wanted to have this discussion. Film, everything.
Yeah. So Fast and the Furious Hollywood Drift. Rumor has it that the launch part pushed everything back. So let's say they don't do it. No soft opening dates. I'm just saying in general. I need to hear Conductor and Italiano's opinion. Uh-oh. So listen to this. I didn't have a platform to say this on because I didn't want to do it on Instagram. They're not doing it this week. Next week, they canned that date because it was botched. Maybe the launch thing is messed up. Luckily, Conductor got all the stuff that's down the walls, the scrim or whatever. Everything looks brand newy. So it's coming. But 4th of July, people barbecue, go camping, go swimming.
Yes.
Okay. Of course, people are going to be at the park for – I don't mean it that. I'm just saying in general, right? They want the general public to come, not just theme park head.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next week after that, when I'm in Vegas, so that's why I was pre-planning this, hoping it wasn't when the week I'm in Vegas. So July 10th, would the park of Universal coincide with their biggest movie of the year release date? No, right? They wouldn't set up an event to come to get away from their movie in the movie theater. I just don't see that. They won't do Fast and Furious and Odyssey the same day, bro.
No.
No, they won't.
No,
They
yeah,
won't.
not with Odyssey. If it was
Any other
maybe wait, when does Fast and Furious for the 25th anniversary? When does that re-release in theaters?
Oh,
I think it's early July.
okay.
I think it's early July. And while
August 21st.
August 21st.
So they would skip. So riddle me this. I know it's not horror. They're skipping their date because they want you to go sit in the theater for 3 hours.
Of
Hey,
course.
what's up, David? Okay, so the next one's the 17th, maybe. The next week after that's the 24th, maybe. The next week after that is Spider-Man. Okay, this is what I mean. They don't want you to miss out on the 10th. They don't want you to miss out on the 17th and 24th either. They're trying to make money up until Spider-Man. Okay, they're banking on you going to see Tom Holland twice, Spider-Man and Odyssey. Everybody wants this. Sony, Universal, they want you to go see Zendaya twice too. Okay, so August 7th is Midsummer. I'm going to Midsummer. I'm not coming to Fast and Furious. Then the 14th is D23. They're not going to coincide with that. So
No.
now Fast and Furious, George, the 21st of August.
That's where, okay, so I can see where they would kind of coincide with it because, again, they're saying summer 2026. It could be late summer. Just because it says summer, that does not mean, honestly, summer months aren't even the hot ticket, no pun intended, anymore for theme park goers.
No.
It isn't. But here's the other thing, too, and it's right at the brink of opening it before HHN.
Exactly. And what do they have for HHN? They said you'll probably need a reservation system. You only could do it if you buy Express. This is how you set up a new ride. It's not the soft opening, but it's like they're easing you into this because they don't want a long line.
Now, this could kind of go either way, and I want to hear both of your guys' opinions on this too, because we know how Universal can kind of play, and I don't mean this in a bad way. They can kind of play this a little dirty.
Yeah.
Because of D23, could they try to pull away from Disney's thunder to try to get people up there during the event, or do you think that could, they won't go that route because they think that could hurt them?
Yeah.
Because if everyone bought tickets for D23, then it's not going to get people to go up to Universal. So that's where then it falls again late August when the 25th anniversary of the original Fast and Furious comes out in theaters.
2 weeks before HHN. But then are they going to do that and ruin? When's HHN Orlando? I'm gonna look right now.
Well, I personally think the Hollywood Drift Orlando is probably going to open before ours does.
Right, but they're not. Oh, dude. Okay, the 28th of August. So they're not going to fight them either. They know people fly from over here to over there. They're not going to have the biggest content creators, bigger than us. We'll be there soon. Don't play with me. They're not going to have those guys miss out on one or the other. Okay. So now it's not August 28th, and then the week after that is September 4th. So the only week or month to release it is August 21st or July 24th. That's all I got. Those are the only two dates.
Yeah, I mean, late July or late August.
But not the 17th, not the 10th, not the 3rd, not the 31st. July 24th or August 21st, because everything else either coincides with someone they don't want to have competition with, or they don't want to have competition with themselves and lose money.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, they're going to want, everyone is like banking on this ride.
Right.
So they're going to want to open it when nothing is going on, I think.
Thank you.
And now Rudio says, for the record, Jurassic World soft opened on the 4th of July.
Oh,
The 4th of July, we had an earthquake in 2019.
Rudio for the side swipe. Oh, man, if it's 4th of July, I'm flying out, dude. I'm coming out, man.
There you go.
I'll be on the airplane like, Bursting in air. Did you guys watch the UFC event? I mean, I'm not patriotic in whatever politic views you have. I mean, that fight was a fight. Dude, everybody got knocked out.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah. It was on a Sunday, too. That was insane.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. Now, do you think during that time, even though that was, like 7 years ago, do you think times have changed, though? Because, again, I think prior to COVID, I feel like summertime was still a thing, sort of thing.
Everything
I think now, honestly, I feel like during the holidays, during the Halloween and Christmas season, that's when these theme parks get their bang for their buck.
I agree.
But that's just me. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I think you're right. I mean, everything changed after the pandemic, whatever you call it. So it's like everybody itches for social events that are these big things now. So it changed the theme parks dramatically. I mean, so I know what you mean. And now horror's bringing back the movie theater experience. I mean, oh man, you're gonna butcher me in the comments, but I saw Disclosure Day, and Steven Spielberg kills it. Conductor, he called me that of the food reviews, but geez, bro, was this a slow burn? I mean, I don't know. I know George had different feelings about it too, but I don't know, man. It just wasn't it.
It didn't work for you for Disclosure Day?
Just wasn't it. And I like the actors like Emily Blunt, Coleman Domingo. They all killed their performances, dude. But this was like a chase movie. They were getting chased. It was like Rogue One. It was like Andor. It was like what led up to the disclosure of it, right? That's what it was. It was like what occurred. It was like a historical thing, like what occurred before. I wasn't scared or suspensed at all. I know it was a sci-fi, though. I was intrigued by Emily Blunt's character the whole time. But maybe it was just because, like, she had all the words, man. She had the whole script.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, I like Disclosure Day. I felt like because it wasn't that typical sci-fi movie.
Hey, nice shirt, by the way.
Me?
Yeah, I just saw it.
Let's see. Like, I think it has, like, wait. Married to... Oh, you guys can't see. Let me see if it'll...
No.
Dude, that is hard, bro.
No.
Hey, to the viewers watching, George has the coolest shirts. Like, it's not like a Disney Universal. I mean, he has the coolest ideas for shirts. So when we go to D23 3 or 4 days in a row, I mean, I'm sure he's going to be dressed up as something cool or a name.
Well, and where do you guys see me and Abby's costume? We're not gonna wear all 3 days, but we're just gonna do one day. As I said, you guys might know it, Tommy and Conductor, but the chat doesn't know, and I'm not gonna spoil anything. You guys have to wait and see and watch the D27,
or is this something else?
Yeah, you never know, man. It's like,
no, I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, sorry to interrupt, man. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's good. So,
I like Disclosure Day. I just didn't think it was a masterpiece.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, you're wrong. But anyway, so I so,
good, bro. I need this. This is the type of banter I like.
No,
but always have to agree, bro. I don't need to agree with you guys.
No, but here's the thing with Disclosure Day, because I have seen people agree with you of your take on it. I've seen it both ways. And it's like one of those movies where you automatically think, okay, this is going to be a slam dunk because it's a Spielberg movie. But this wasn't the case, unfortunately. As I said, I actually liked it. It was honestly one of my top movies of 2026 thus far. I haven't seen The Odyssey yet. I haven't seen Toy Story 2 yet. I haven't seen Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I haven't
there's
seen
not much movies that came out, besides horror.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Obsession and Backrooms, though, is high up on my list.
It's up there, bro.
It's up there. And honestly, the surprise hit for me of the year was the Sheep Detectives. I know. I don't know if anyone has seen the Sheep Detectives. You have to see the Sheep Detectives.
Jeez, I heard. Conductor, what do you think about like HHN? You think they're gonna bring like what's the percentage in your book like on Obsession and Backrooms? Like Obsession for sure, both for sure.
I think both.
I like it.
I think there is probably probably if I have to split it, I would say about a 60% chance.
And that's going to bring all those heads.
Yeah.
You know, I say old heads. I don't mean that. I'm getting there, man. Don't everybody watching, trust me, I'm getting there too. But I mean, like all the, you know, if we get the Ozzy House, but or it's Black Sabbath, we could be wrong. Could be Lady Gaga and Wall Street.
Yeah, you're talking about the old heads that when someone sneezes, they flatline.
Yeah, right. But even to them, I respect the hell out of them because we need that Black Sabbath house and we need that Hellraiser house right next to each other. So the vibes like shift everywhere you go. Backrooms and Obsession would be that vibe that brings that newer generation of that horror, you know, genre that people don't really go for, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, I left John Make It Rain's statement up because I wanted to get your guys' thought on it because I thought it was very interesting. I never understood the point of a soft opening. It's either ready to go or it's not. What do you guys think?
So I like the soft opening. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, let's conduct it. You knock.
No. I was just gonna say soft opening is something where they can test with actual people, and I'm not talking about team members, cast members. I'm talking about actual guests going into the land, getting their feedback, working out the kinks before the actual grand opening. Because the thing with the soft opening, like me and Tommy experienced it with Super Nintendo World. When we went there for the grand opening, I went there several times for soft openings with Theme Park Wizard and all that. And there were things that were not offered compared to the grand opening. There were things that they changed or they fixed for the grand opening that people got to experience for the soft opening. So I think that's why these parks do that. I understand it. I get it. So in a way, soft opening, I think, is necessary. Does it logically make sense? Not to everybody, but for the company providing the experience, I think it makes more than plenty of sense.
Do you think then to even say like, okay, here's the opening date, that if you're going to have a soft opening and you're going to have cast member previews and then you're going to have AP, then you're going to have media, like by the time it hits that fifth round, can you officially say, oh, this is the grand opening date?
But that's what they did with Super Nintendo World. Exactly what Brandon said. Like, I know people that went to the soft opening like the week and a half, 2 weeks before. Then they had all the celebrities there. Then they had the fireworks there. Like you said, bro, like then like all the workers and stuff, like not cast members, but you know,
team members.
So I mean, I'm right there up with you guys. Like conductor's right. I mean,
exactly, because when you look at the grand opening of the red carpet the night before the grand opening, where, like Tommy said, you had all the celebrities, you had the red carpet, you had content creators, you had the news media with the big cameras, the lights, they had the fireworks show, they had the drone show, and that was all for media that never actually came to fruition for everyday park guests. Same thing what we see with Celestial Park and Epic Universe. If you go on YouTube and you watch the media preview or the media night, which was the day before the opening of Epic, and you see the drone show, the projection mapping, the fireworks, you know, all this extra stuff that now all of a sudden a year and some change later, we're barely going to start to see for the everyday guest. You know, that's what I mean. The definition of soft openings for a land, for a attraction, the experience, a show, it has a very loose definition on different variations of what that can mean. So I think personally, soft openings are necessary, but I do agree with George. By the time you have soft openings, then you have team member, then you have AP, then you have media night, then you have the grand opening. Then it's kind of like, okay, well, you kind of already had the grand opening when you had the AB previews. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I wanted to bring this up. This is from Giant Peter Adventures. Adam the Woo said something similar before he passed. He said he missed when the first time we saw a lander ride was when we actually experienced it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Bro, 100%.
Literally, I mean, God bless Adam the Woo. I mean, he's missed dearly by all of us. But, I mean, what he spoke was basically the gospel. Because, I mean, that really is the truth. Like, it's those times where we're just able to go into a land or on a ride and we're just immersed in it. We're not being told by a third-party source, or we're, like, reading this and going on that. It's like we are experiencing it ourselves.
Yeah.
And you know what? The last 2 times me and Conductor was hanging out with him, RIP, was the Disneyland 70th first day, and you can't soft drop that. I mean, it was on the specific day, you know, and I know even when we were at Horror Unleashed, of course, there was one day you could go for media, but dude, like, he was even saying, like, kind of what Giant Peter said, like, he got invited to all these media things. He said he should have started going to those more, but it was something about being there with the general public. I may be butchering the words, but being there the day it opens for everyone, it's just a different feeling than a media night.
Yeah, because my thing is with the media night. Yeah, it's great to see actors. It's great to see, you know, fellow content creators that are, you know, have definitely put in the work into their channels and have gotten the respect they have to have such a huge fan base to be invited for that. But the problem with the problem I see with the media previews from an outsider looking in is that they basically polish everything and they sugarcoat everything. So everything's working perfect. You get all these extras, all these goodies. There's no issues with the attractions. There's no issues with the shows. You get exclusive access to things that the general public's not going to see for God knows how long. But then Adam's kind of right, though. It's kind of better to be there on grand opening day, to kind of be amongst the people that don't get that media preview. And even Bricky has said it many times, because something breaks, like breaking news at a theme park, whether it's you know, an announcement about Avatar, or an announcement about Coco, or this dropped, not everything you know that we report on as theme park content creators needs to be reported on at that moment.
Well, and I think
stuff is evergreen.
And I agree with you. I think, and Conductor, you and I even talked about this with Tropical Americas.
Yeah.
And when I started doing content actually physically in the parks, I've noticed there's a complete difference that when you're doing something with majority of media, everyone's doing the same thing at the exact same time.
Yeah.
We're all sitting there and we all have our cameras up, or we all have our phones up and everything, which that's what we do. You know, we enjoy doing it. But I love being that black sheep in the crowd where I'm recording the regulars, the newbies. I love seeing, that's like, I enjoyed when we went to Florida, even though you guys recorded content, it was all new for you guys. And I was able to record those moments. That to me was more real than us going already knowing that it was going to be for media, and we're all just focused on one thing. It tends to become very, dare I say it, and again, I'm not saying anything to knock us, but kind of a soulless moment. Because again, everyone is doing the same exact thing at the exact same time. I like to capture what I want to capture from my audience, but that is including the audience around me.
But see, that's the thing, though. When you look at content creators, and Bricky gets asked this question a lot, because people ask him, hey, why don't you like doing media events? This is part of his reason, not his full reason, but part of his reason, because as content creators, we look at, when we go to Halloween Horror Nights, perfect example, because all three of us go at around the same time. We go opening weekend. Okay. Even though we're filming the same thing, all three of us, there's different perspectives per person on how that's going to come out. Not all three of us are going to have the same reaction, the same type of coverage as, the other person. That's what makes us unique. That's why people in the chat, they love that type of diversity, because if you're at a media event like Hollow Gelato's saying, whether it's for HHN, a new attraction, a new show, a new park, you're kind of stuck in this like little bubble that everyone's migrating to, that's media, and you're all filming the same thing, and the personality of the content you're filming kind of goes out the window because it's all like professional. And there's nothing wrong of being professional, but the problem is, being in media, you don't get to personalize your content. It's very straightforward and narrow to the point.
Yes, I agree.
Well said. And you know what? Fast and Furious, you can't bring no cameras on. You can't bring meta glasses on.
No.
So if you want to experience the POV, you have to write it yourself. So if you don't like high intensity coasters,
no.
I don't know, man.
I think they're even looking at banning the metas. So
they did, yeah, they are. I see that.
Did you guys see? Did you guys see the video? Who posted it? Someone posted it. It was Peter, or someone posted it on X. It was like a little short clip. It was real, but they turned it into a meme, and they were like, "This is Stark Flight Lab," where these two people were on this, like, kind of like swinging kind of kuka arm thing.
Yeah.
And the woman's phone was in her pocket, and it flung out.
Yeah.
Of her pocket. It almost went in the water. It literally was sitting on the edge of the cement.
Yeah.
And it was like,
man.
And I'm like, okay, well, this just clarifies that probably Stark Flight Lab, they're going to have us all put stuff in lockers.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Now, my prediction for Fast and Furious. Okay. I'm going to go with Tommy's date for August, for when the 25th drops for the anniversary. I'm going to go with that. The other option I have is, because think about it, they don't want to do it July 4th. Everyone's going to be home, barbecuing, whatnot. Okay. It's going to be a special year because we're celebrating the 250th birthday of our country. But here's the thing, though. July 7th or even July 10th. The reason why that date sounds more plausible, because think about it. Epic Universe is debuting their nighttime show July 7th. And what if 3 days later they drop Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift?
But it's Odyssey, though. They're not going to coincide with the moneymaker.
That I think it's going to be too cannibalizing, because I think they're going to want as much media to cover. And I think, honestly, if people are traveling between, if they go down to Florida for Epic Universe, sure, and a lot of the traveling back here for Fast, and then on top of the Odyssey, I think everything is for Universal at that time, but I think everything would be going against Universal.
Well, the reason why I'm saying July 7th, people would flock down to Florida for the nighttime show is because the show's going to stay the same regardless. But then people coming back to the West Coast, you got the coaster. And then while people are down here experiencing the coaster, they'll go experience the Odyssey. And why there's obviously a reason obviously to promote the movie, but there's a reason why they put the Odyssey ship on the studio tour for people to experience. And why would they put it so close to the July 10th opening of the movie going in theaters? There's some type of
The only thing with the audience, the Odyssey though, is people have already purchased their tickets.
Oh, sure.
Exactly. This
Sure.
is
And
what I'm doing. Yeah.
so opening weekend, because it crashed the AMC app.
Oh,
Abby and I were wondering why we couldn't access the app. They put us in a queue line, and it was for people that were buying tickets for the 70 millimeter show screening
yeah.
of Odyssey. So just that one day alone, they sold 28,000 tickets.
Oh, I
for
believe
that day, which to me is mind blowing for a movie. As I said, I think the Odyssey and Doomsday, they're going to go head to head this year.
Oh,
I said to myself, Doomsday is going to take the #1 spot all the way. It's going to be the end movie of the year. But when I started seeing those numbers come in for the Odyssey,
oh yeah.
I don't know. It's going to give Doomsday a run for its money.
And that's what I mean with the Odyssey. It's like they're not gonna, dare I say it, the Odyssey's more important with the audience than the Fast roller coaster.
No, 100%.
Well,
oh, go ahead.
No. Finish your thought, because then I have something to add to that.
No. So I think that's why I said 2 dates. That's why I said either July 10th, or I said the date that Tommy announced, which was August 25th, you said, or 26th. One of those dates. I think that might be more plausible, not just because of the 21st, not because it's not it has something to do with the 25th anniversary. I think that date is more plausible because you have people already planning trips to come to the West Coast for Halloween Horror Nights, which literally starts a week and a half later. So that makes sense to get the crowds in and get them to stay, not just for Fast and Furious, but also to stay for Halloween Horror Nights. So that is a smart move. So you get the best of the three worlds.
Right.
You get the movie, you get the coaster, and you get Halloween Horror Nights.
Now, I do want to add something to this, and you tell me what you guys think about this as well. There is something else that's going on July 10th. The live action Moana.
Oh, they're sure not dropping, man.
Wait, but this is the thing though. A lot of people could think, oh, but that's Disney. That wouldn't have to do it with anything. Who is in Moana?
The Rock.
The Rock is never, with all of the premieres for the live action Moana, he's going to want to be there. But we all know that Vin Diesel was heavily in this attraction. There is no way that Dwayne Johnson is going to let Vin Diesel have the full spotlight on the Fast and Furious. So he will tell them, I guarantee you, he will tell Universal, I don't care what beef you have with Disney, that is my movie premiere, but I will be there at the Fast and Furious. So I still think the weekend of July 10th, and I could be wrong. I mean, if they could finagle scheduling, maybe they'll be able to do it. I don't know. But knowing how kind of Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel kind of have this rivalry kind of caveman behavior towards each other, The Rock is going to want to be part of the Fast and Furious, but he's not going to want to take it away from the premiere of Moana.
No. That's why I'm saying August 21st seems the most plausible. And that's where I give Tommy credit because, like I said, if it opens the 21st or even that weekend of the 21st, you got the movie, you got the coaster, then you have Halloween Horror Nights. It's like boom, boom, boom. And it's like, okay, well, then at that point, Universal's in a better position because from what I filmed the other day when I was at Universal and the fact that we had scaffolding in 3 different areas of the track, and then at one of the scaffold areas, which was the final brake run before you go into the load station, I saw 4 cherry pickers with 2 to 3 construction guys on each picker looking at the little drive tire motors and the components underneath. Maybe they need that extra time, but the problem I see is, does Universal want to wait all the way until August 21st or even close to that date? Because I kind of feel if that's what they were planning on doing, Universal kind of jumped the gun a little bit. Because think about it. What have we seen in the last couple weeks with Fast and Furious? We've seen Channel 4 News. We've seen ABC 7. We've seen KTLA 5 do in-depth tours. Access Hollywood, in-depth tours of the ride queue. You know, showing us the props, the scenes we're going to walk through before we jump on our cars to ride the track and whatnot. Why would Universal allow that if they weren't close to an opening date? I think they wouldn't have waited if they were trying to aim for August 21st. That's what concerns me, because from what I'm hearing on both sides of the pond is that the June 24th or 24th or 26th was supposed to be the actual date, and when it leaked out and Universal took it down, then they kind of backtracked and said, wait a second. So there's a lot of confusion going on, but I think they were planning on the 24th or the 26th, but since it got leaked out, they're kind of at a standstill because they've been promoting the hell out of this ride, and they've already had news cameras go in there and film the stuff.
And that's the thing, dude. I gotta correct myself. So I butchered it. So
Okay.
Thankfully George threw that July 10th thing out there. So maybe they could do the 10th because the Odyssey doesn't come out till July 17th.
Oh,
actually. So July 10th, it could be July 10th. That July 10th or July 24th.
See, here's the thing. If it is the first week of July, they're going to have to make the announcement now because they're going to want people to start booking ahead of time.
Yep.
As each day goes by, the
It gets
closer the beginning of July looks more bleak.
Yeah. And that's why I think August is it, because guess what movie comes out July 1st? The new Minions movie. So they're not going to do it July 3rd. They're not going to do it the 10th because Moana. They're not going to do it the 17th because Odyssey. They're not going to do it the 31st because of Spider-Man. So would they do it on the 24th? I don't know. And then they're not going to do it August 7th during Midsummer.
No.
I'm correcting myself. Then they're not doing it.
Do you think they're even scrambling the fact that June 26th was going to be the opening date?
That was the date, and I think the launch.
Right. So what if they really honestly don't even know what their opening date is? They're scrambling to try to get the stuff done.
Yeah.
But they can't give us any information because they don't know it themselves.
Because they don't know if they're going to fix the launch. Literally, the launch of the ride was being worked on. That's what I'm talking about, like the first part of the ride.
Yeah. So there's a ton of questions, and Madame Lizelle makes a great point. See what I mean? They're already showing the commercial for the attraction multiple times.
But here's the thing. Now, here's the thing, and I do agree. Yes, they're showing the commercials that's up on billboards. But if Universal already prepaid for that stuff to go on the stations and on the billboards,
right,
there's nothing really that they can do about it. Because again, if the date was really going to be June 26th,
right,
those commercials and billboards would make sense.
It would. But see, that's where the question becomes, are you going to do that or not? So again, I could see, the live action Moana going against Fast and Furious. I could see it Are they going to do it? Probably not.
Probably
But
not.
I could see them doing that. I could see it because
I'm kind of honestly right now where Tommy's at. I'm either seeing late July or late August.
yeah, but
There's only one date in July, though. It's the 24th. And that's the week after the release of Odyssey and a week before Marvel Sony's Spider-Man. So that's why I just don't know. And then, so yeah, it goes, if I'm just doing Fridays, it's, Minions, Moana, Odyssey, a break, Spider-Man, Midsummer, D23, a break, then HHN Orlando, then HHN Hollywood.
True.
Right. So it's August 21st or July 24th. That's it.
But see, that's where I'm kind of curious about. Again, there's a lot of confusion on what it can be, and that's where I'm having the issue.
Me too.
Because you think about it. Okay, perfect example. People on the East Coast, like I said, they're going to debut the new nighttime show at Epic Universe on the 7th. 3 days.
That doesn't warrant a whole flyout just for the show, in my opinion.
So a lot of people would agree, and then there's some like us that, not us, but people in our community that cover the same things we do, would do something like that. It's a catch-22. So I'm not. Yeah, I'm kind of stumpfounded on why they haven't announced the date.
I'm firm on August 21st. Now I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah,
I'm firm on it because July 24th is a month out.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. As each day goes by that we're not getting no answer, it's bringing us closer to the next month of July. They have to give us enough time to start planning.
Yeah, right.
We don't want people to come out. That's the whole point. So they can't tell us a week and a half out. They can't.
No.
But then they need the food, the Fast and Furious food, and all the cars out to coincide with the release. And would they do that with only a week left with HHN? No. So it could be July 24th.
It could. But then again, Universal has some play though, from this point all the way to Halloween Horror Nights to announce and open a date. But then they also have other things they could announce. More HHN stuff. They can announce, updates about, certain things opening. Like tomorrow, for example, Theme Park Wizards is going to be on location at Universal. They're opening the security hubs. There's all this stuff they could be announcing.
Well, I'm surprised, honestly, we didn't even hear any more on the HHN houses. We only got Sinners. That was fully confirmed.
And that's what they're banking all their sales on right now, is Sinners. Yeah. That's the only thing selling them. So we need this announcement date so we can prepare. But then, like you said, they're not going to have you pay to come out 2 weeks apart. So August 21st may not be it.
They would at least have to give us, I would think, a minimum of 3 weeks to a month.
It's July 24th then. That's the only date that's like
the only way that if they were to do the food, because you had mentioned about the food and it running into HHN, unless they do the Fast and Furious stuff during the day and the HHN stuff.
They can't because it's dressed up. They dress it up.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Fallout was dressed up. You know what I mean? One Piece was even dressed up this whole time. Like,
so then, so July 24th. Then
a layover, not dressed up.
It's the only date that gives them ample amount of time,
right,
for them to tell us it's still in the summer. It's enough time spaced between HHN.
None of their movies are dropping that day.
No movies are dropping during that time. It would have to be July 24th, but in order for that to happen, we're going to have to hear something from now to the first week of July.
I will tell you this.
ASAP.
I will tell you this, because since they've already had an employee preview, I will tell you this.
Wait. When did they have employee preview? They rolled the ride.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. They did.
I don't know. I don't think
it was a full employee preview. Like every employee had the opportunity to ride.
So they had the executives there, and then there was a handful of Universal creatives that work on property that got to ride it. I heard some team members got to ride it.
But it wasn't where it was like the team member previews where they can bring guests and stuff like that. It wasn't that yet.
I don't think so, but it was an iteration of it. But see, what I'm trying to pivot to is when they announce, if they do announce it, if they announce either soft previews or AP previews, then at that point we should know by then that the opening date is probably weeks out. At that point,
I hope you're right.
We saw
someone said they still think the soft opening's next week, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've even heard
but for them to announce a soft opening, wouldn't they still have to announce the official opening date?
A full date, right, George? Right.
I can't foresee, because if they're saying, okay, the soft opening is going to be next week, then that's actually saying the next week after that, it's going to officially open. So if that's the case, then why not just say, here's the date we're opening? Because
they didn't fix the launch yet. That's
why. Yeah, that is a liability, and that's a safety thing. So they can't give us an opening date because, God forbid, we all saw what happened with Stardust. Yeah. And I really don't think Universal is going to want to go through that stuff again.
No.
On a much bigger thing.
But I'm interested right now. I'm going to look up HHN tickets. Does it still say entry level into Fast and the Furious, or did they take it off?
No, it's still there.
There. And they can't drop the ride during HHN. There's 2 months of HHN, and then holidays is Grinchmas. They can't. They got a small window to fix this launch. And like I said, I could be wrong. I just butchered the date for 30 minutes. So if the launch is not right, I apologize, Universal. I just really want this date to be dropped.
Well, see, that's what I mean. But who knows, though?
Right.
It's just it's a waiting, guessing game. But the fact, what does he say? Heck, George has been to Epic twice on 2 separate years and didn't experience start. Well, that's true.
It's true.
He's going to go for the 3-peat. You watch. No, but the fact, because when I was there the other day, it's interesting. When I was there the other day, first of all, they have a bunch of HHN props on the lower lot. Yes. They do. They have a bunch of HHN props staged where Jurassic Park experience for Fast and Furious or for FanFest. So now I was walking up and I saw construction guys coming out of one of the side gates for the outdoor portion of the Fast and Furious queue. And the queue looks done. Done and completed. And out of 3 sections of construction walls, they took 2 sections down of construction walls. So they are closer than we think, we're all thinking it is. But again, they're kind of taking a page out of Disney's book. But I get it. What happened at Stardust is freaking them out. It is. And Rudio says Theme Park Wizards post tonight that there is extended queues being set up in the plaza tonight. So that could mean something. I don't know. I don't know that for sure. I do know, like I said, Wizard has stated, and this is a public fact, he is going to be at Universal tomorrow to experience the security hubs. And I do know, talking to some team members, I asked, that they are going to utilize the plaza as an extended queue for Fast and Furious. They are going to put stanchions up in that area. It is going to happen. That's a given.
Jeez. I don't want to see HHN with that. That's why they're going to do the reservation system thing. I don't know.
Yep.
So that's a sign that they're preparing for it. So if they're preparing for it, then that means that they may have a
date,
possible opening date.
That's
I don't know.
Better not be June. It better not be this month.
It can't be. If it is, I'm sorry. Universal dropped the ball on that because none of us would be prepared. Because even Conductor and I have a hotel still currently booked right now. We have up until the 20th to cancel. So I am hoping that we get literally an answer within probably the next 3 days. Otherwise, I have to take the risk and cancel because we'd end up getting charged for our whole entire room that we wouldn't even need. Or we cancel it and then Universal says, oh yeah, by the way, we are opening it June 26th. And but I can't foresee them doing that. I can't.
No.
I can't either. And this, I'm going off what Brandon said. This is the next news. They're not dropping no new HHN news until this news comes out first, in my opinion.
No, they're not.
Yeah, this is what people want next.
Yeah, they're not gonna do it. I'm telling you now that because when they announce a date, they're gonna announce new merch. They're gonna announce. I'm trying to think new foods, and who knows? We might even get a not to sound corny, but we might get a Vin Diesel character. You know, we kind of got a leaked photo. Not saying it is the actual photo, but we got leaked photos online about what the team members are going to be wearing for like outfits for the coaster that are working at the coaster. So we kind of got a gist of what their outfits are gonna be. So the fact that they've gone this far with the leaked photos of the team member outfits, the fact they've taken down 2 construction walls, they've allowed all these different news organizations to go in there and film the queue and whatnot. You know, again, I think they're taking a page out of Disney's book and they don't know what to do. And like George said, I think they're right. They announced the leak date was announced and they weren't prepared for that. And it kind of put them in a bad spot.
Yeah. Because I do truly believe that June 26th was going to be the actual day.
Oh, I 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because my only issue is because we all know how big the crowds get at Universal for Halloween Horror Nights. And I can assure you that they wanted this coaster probably open on that June 24th or 26th date.
Mm-hmm.
That way they would have at least 2 months of continuous ride-throughs with guests before people come down for Halloween Horror
I
Nights.
agree. That is going to be an operational nightmare. That if you're going to be getting it close to having Fast and Furious open when they're about to kick off HHN, you're going to have the HHN crowd alone by itself, and then you're going to intermix people wanting to be on. Because here's the thing. They close the park down to the regular public for HHN, which means they can't have that extended queue for the Fast and Furious opened. They would have to close Fast and the Furious several hours prior to get the people through before they close down for HHN. Yeah. That's not going to go well with people. That it's only going to be a not even a half day, a quarter day of a roller coaster.
Well, okay, so if you think about it, they close the park for HHN at 5. All right, yeah, for HHN at 5 o'clock. All the general public gets shoved out. Okay. They only allow early access to come in with credentials. Okay. I think if memory would serve me correctly, I think they would probably close down Fast and Furious around 3:30, maybe 3:45. So if you're not in the queue by that time, they cut the line off and they get everyone through. The only benefit by doing it that way is the fact that we're going to have 6 trains to this coaster. So it's going to feed people through very quickly that are in the queue. So that's
well, and then you also have to take into consideration, not to sound like a negative Nancy, I have a feeling this coaster, especially for its opening, is going to have a lot of malfunctions. This ride is going to be going on off all day.
And to go with that is, I don't even think they're going to have the ride running on HHN nights. It's only going to be for HHN. So if you go there during the day, it's not going to be running at all. They'll just only do it for the nighttime, started at 5 or whatever, and then go from there. End at 11.
Yeah.
You know.
Or John Rain says they could do a wristband system or something particularly like a wristband system or even like a virtual queue. Because think about it. You know, when they opened Harry Potter, do you guys, well, George, you were living in PA at the time. Tommy, I didn't even know you at the time, but when Harry Potter opened at Hollywood, they had the virtual queue kiosks outside the park. So where the red carpet is, they had a designated area where they had the systems where you can sign up for a virtual queue. They didn't have it where you went on your app, like the Universal Hollywood app, and get a virtual queue. No, you had to be at the park, in front of the park to do that. So what if that's what Fast and Furious is going to be like?
I think now more than ever, they probably, I'm not a fan of virtual queues.
Neither am I.
But I think in this particular situation that this is how the ball rolled. I think honestly, Universal has no choice.
No, they don't.
They don't. I'm only going on it once, then, because
they're not going to want people standing in a line, not knowing if they're even going to be able to get through They want already to have a block of people. You have your virtual queue. Okay, you get in that queue line. You come back. You wait in line. If you didn't get your virtual queue, try another time.
So John Maker says no choice to do what? To have a virtual queue.
Yeah.
They're going to have a virtual queue. There's no way in hell they're not. It's a sign.
They did a virtual queue for Super Nintendo World, too. I mean,
exactly my point. Exactly my point. And Rudio makes a great point. He says, I hope they use the same waitlist system as Toadstool Cafe. It works so well. Sarcastic voice.
Yeah, I know. Well, they are trash with that. That queue would direct you, or that QR code would direct you out of the Universal app. Now it's finally in the app, so you could do the Toadstool through the app. Finally.
Yeah.
How long did that take? Gosh.
Yeah, it took a little longer than it should have, by far. But again, I think with HHN, their best bet. And again, I encourage everyone watching this live stream tonight, whether it's on Holo Gelato, Tommy Toon World, or my channel, Theme Park Conductor, I encourage everyone to check out Theme Park Wizard, because he will be boots on the ground tomorrow at Universal doing not just the walkthrough of the security hubs, which will be the central security hub and the security hub next to Curious George, but also stay tuned, because I guarantee you he's going to go inside the park, which he would be stupid not to. He's going to go inside the park and see what type of activity they're doing with the Fast and Furious coaster. And if we see updates where they remove scaffolding, they're starting to set up the stanchions in the plaza area. I don't know, man.
I think honestly, for how many times we've seen the scaffolding go down, until I actually hear Universal say, here's the opening date,
True.
I ain't squatting out a turd. You know, and that's just me, like, because I'm just saying, like, how many times that we've seen the scaffolding go up, come down, go up, come down.
That's true.
be moved around. It's like, and again, I'm not saying that that's Universal's fault.
Right.
Safety always comes first.
100%.
But when something is like shifted or moved, it's like, uh-oh. And it very well could be. It very well could be. We may wake up tomorrow and we may get the date. I would hope so. I
hope.
But again, until Universal says so, it's just like the same thing with me with Disney with Avatar. Until I actually get concrete detail, it's like I'm in the waiting wings.
Well, see, that's what I mean. But we all know that just like HHN, Hollywood is pretty consistent about announcing stuff last. Like, I mean, Halloween Horror Nights, this year they changed it up. Granted, previous years, how long did we have to wait for our second house announcement? How long did we have to wait until we got tickets, prices?
Was it much longer? I mean, you guys covered that more.
It's different every year. I mean, Epic released last year, so the focus was on Epic. Year before that, I don't remember, but the year before that, like they announced Chucky, like October 31st or something. So I guess it's different.
It goes back and forth, but see, one thing that Universal is notorious for, which we all know, is building stuff and announcing stuff at the end. This is a little different, but I don't know. I'm going to hold judgment. Do I think they're going to wait all the way until August 21st?
No, I think it's going to be late July.
Late July is an obvious choice. I still think that's way too far out. Like, I mean,
so you're thinking?
I'm thinking before
the end of the first week of July into the second week of July.
I think so.
Okay.
I think anywhere from the 10th to the. I'm going to broaden it out a little bit. I think from the 10th to the 20th.
What's going on the week of 10, 11, 12, July 13th?
That's a Monday.
Right. So July 13th, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to the 17th. What's going on that week?
Nothing, but it's all Odyssey drops. It releases. So Thursday, it's at the movie theater, Thursday night, whatever.
But, yeah, that's true.
So July 24th, that would be it.
Yeah. But I'm trying to see, oh God, because I'm trying to see how they can play it where they get people to, especially people that don't live in California, to fly down to California, not just to see the Odyssey, but you'll have seen the Odyssey in theaters, and what better way to see it than see it at Universal at the cinemas. Then go see the actual ship of the movie on the studio tour. And on top of that, while you're in the park already, the hell with it, you have the coaster.
I would agree with you with that, which honestly, that's genius. But my only thing is the amount of tickets that were already sold for the Odyssey.
Oh, for sure. No.
That other than that, I agree with you. I think honestly, that would have been a great cross promotion.
Oh,
honestly.
For sure.
It's just now, I don't know, depending on the amount of tickets that was sold at Universal City Walk.
That's true. But see, here's the thing. When you guys asked earlier, people like us, is it worth going to the East Coast and then flying back to the West Coast for two different things? We kind of see that with the bigger YouTubers, obviously different scenario, but like, for example, David from Fresh Baked, he just went out to Magic Kingdom with his wife, Liz, for 2 or 3 days and then came back.
But I really honestly right now don't think these theme parks, I really hate to say this, they use content creators.
Oh,
they're not the bigger demographic.
No, they're
looking at the normies for this.
Oh, sure.
Because the normies are the ones that pay out the buco to come do all this stuff.
That's true. So my question is, from Universal in general, and I'm speaking about the Hollywood park, what comes first, an announcement for Fast and Furious or a second house announcement for HHN?
I would be shocked to high heaven and low hell if they say another Haas before Fast.
We can't. They can't. This is the news that they're waiting for after fumbling the date and someone actually finding it on
Not
the
unless it just keeps on getting delayed. Then if it delays, then they have no choice because they can't back up the house announcements though.
Dude, if they delay it, it's going to be released during a big event, either Grinchmas or HHN. Or that weird middle ground. And I don't like that middle ground of Universal at all. Where it's like between Grinchmas and HHN. It's like super downtime. A lot of people don't go to the park.
But do you think that could possibly be a thing to get people to go?
No, because the money, man. Everybody just spent their money on Halloween Horror Nights.
No.
They got to catch you before you spend the money at HHN.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
Exactly my point. So again, that's kind of different than what all the rumors we're getting for Halloween Horror Nights. For example, you have the Quinceañera house, which is in the Parisian Courtyard. You have Hellraiser. You have Evil Dead Burns. You have, oh my God.
They could just honestly kill two birds with one stone and just give us zombie Dom Toretto.
Hey, there you go. You have the latest. You have the latest announcement, which was rumored to be Treehouse of Horrors from The Simpsons, because that got leaked.
But that could be the show for this year, right? They could just do an overlay on their, yeah.
But they kind of semi-confirmed that, well, not by Universal, but just fan base in general, that oh my God, The Purge is coming back to Waterworld, so they wouldn't do it there. The only other option is to either do it in the land or do it in the DreamWorks Theater.
No, it's going to be that ride. What's the Simpsons ride?
Oh, the Simpsons ride.
The Simpsons ride.
That's what they would do. That's what it is. Yeah.
But see, the problem with the Simpsons ride is, for a very long time, it's only been operating half capacity because the other side is not even utilized anymore. It's kind of like a abandoned repair shop. Like they scrap parts from that side of the building to keep the other side maintained.
Which would make sense why a ride so simple as that takes so much longer to wait in line for.
Exactly.
I mean, God, you guys waited in line for that before, right? That thing is excruciating.
Oh, it's torture. It's absolute torture. It's horrible. So again, I'm going to beat the war drum and say
it's Treehouse horrible.
Yeah, pretty much. It pretty much is. But overall, I'm going to say this because it's getting late and I gotta go to work. Is that I think HHN, I think if they keep focusing on what John Murdy has beautifully executed all these years, making sure the immersion, the storytelling is in the houses, then HHN is going to just be successful every single year. And I hope his predecessor that takes over for him once Murdy retires keeps up that tradition. Going back to Fast and Furious for a second, debatable because we don't know anything. So I think I
would campaign. I would campaign for JP Land to take his spot. Someone young, thirsty, has been through it with Universal, but still deserves it, man. He's an HHN head, bro. He could probably put the whole thing together, and he could have a whole tenure there if they really rocked with him, bro.
Hey, I'm going to answer John Make as it rains comment. Forbidden Journey line is horrible. I'm going to tell you what. You think that's horrible? Go to Orlando and go wait in Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, and you could tell me that's horrible.
Yeah, Donkey Kong's worse.
Oh well, that was bad too.
Harry Potter's worse. The what is it?
The Ministry of Magic. Battle at the Ministry.
Oh God, yeah.
And then the ride goes down after waiting in line. That is by far the worst.
I kind of felt Okay. Since we're talking about Halloween Horror Nights for a second, and we're talking about the back rooms, I kind of felt like Hagrid's motorbike adventure was the back rooms. It just kept going and going and going. I'm like, holy shit, when are we going to reach the actual load station, for God's sakes? God, I thought an ogre was going to come out of the corner.
Yeah, because we're like, okay, this is it. Because here's the thing, like, because it was been a few years since I've been on Hagrid's, but
Oh, God.
I couldn't like remember like how many rooms fully, but like every time, because I remember when we saw the pre-show with Hagrid and the Weasleys, and we're like, okay, so the next room, that's it. You know, we go through like 5 more rooms, and I remember we were talking while we were waiting, and we're like, they should have put the pre-show like closer to the end, so we knew that this was going to be the end of the line.
They should have. For sure.
It was torture. So, John, if you ever make it to Orlando, please go on Donkey Kong, go on a Battle of Ministry, go on Hagrid's. And
Donkey Kong wouldn't be as bad of a long wait if it wouldn't keep on breaking down all the time.
Sure. That's why I retracted the statement a little bit. Yeah.
That's really the only thing I think. Well, to a point though, because it is low capacity with the ride vehicles.
It is, but the problem is, and I said this on the other live I was part of earlier, I said the problem with Epic Universe, by far, it's a beautiful park. It's an awesome park. Is it a full day park? Absolutely not. Is there too many e-ticket attractions? Yes. Is there not enough filler attractions? Yes. Are the attractions that are there, are they mainly outdoors? Yes. And
are they really pushing my patience that I can't get on freaking Stardust Racers in the 2 times that I've been there? Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, they just hate
did everything else though, basically.
They hate you. That's why.
No, they did that on purpose. They literally knew that I was coming down, and they knew that I literally could not get on it physically after my surgery. And they're like, okay, even though, yes, it was a horrible accident of what happened. But I mean, like after the fact, while they're doing all the testing and everything, they're like, okay, we're just going to wait it out just a little bit longer until he leaves.
Just,
you know, then it's.
I think the highlight was eating at Pizza Moon.
Pizza Moon, I can go for another Pizza Moon. I'm not kidding you.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I could say. I
Moon,
mean, you guys know how I feel about Mythos. Literally, I would get a Universal theme park ticket for Mythos and Pizza Moon by themselves. Literally.
Hey, but
you think that I would be nuts to pay a full theme park price ticket to go eat? I don't care. I would.
Hey, but I do have to say though, if it wasn't Pizza Moon, me and Tommy rocked it out at Dawes Steakhouse. That was fire.
Oh yeah, that's what I hit too. We got to go to the other one, the Burning Blades Tavern too. We got.
Oh, for sure.
We have a lot of places to do. I think it's a 1-day park or higher. I mean, we didn't get everything done.
Okay, so I have to say this is probably going to cause a whole nother conversation, probably for another day.
And that could be a part 2.
We're definitely going to have a part 2. But I have to strongly disagree when a lot of people say that the Orlando theme park food isn't any good.
Oh, it's fine.
I have to disagree with that.
Compared to Universal out here, it's shitting on it, bro. Universal out here is trash with food. You got to go to City Walk to get the fire food.
Oh, and I tell you what, I am so glad. That was the one restaurant. I had everything planned out literally to a T of what restaurants we were going to. There was one restaurant that was not
on your list,
on my list that I had ready, but Conductor was convinced that like he was at some point we had to go
fire, right?
Big Fire.
Big Fire.
And I tell you what, Big Fire was fire.
I still look at that steak. I took a picture of it.
My gosh, like
that Wagyu burger was phenomenal. Oh my God. I
was on the verge of death that day too, and that shit brought me back, bro.
Yeah, you were on the verge of death. Conductor was like ready to have it out with customer service that he could not get on the Hogwarts Express.
I was not happy.
And he's just like,
that was a fluke though.
It was. It never Hogwarts Express I've never seen go down ever.
It was a fluke. Yeah.
Ever.
Well, because you live in the Truman Show. We live in the Truman Show. They weren't ready.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
I-
that was just like, and then that was the night when Conductor was just like, I couldn't get on the Hogwarts Express. We're going to Big Fire. I don't care how late it is. Tommy, I'll drag you if you can't walk.
Right.
We're
And
going-
then,
I told them that.
and then
I
you
saw
got beads anyways. You got Mardi Gras beads. So
I
you
did.
you
I-
got to see some good stuff. I mean, I don't know. It all worked out, man.
Oh, 100%.
Now let's go back out there for HHM, bro, and see if we can make it.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Why not? Sure.
I know, right?
Unbelievable.
Well, okay, so I don't know. I'm just saying because now a lot of people are saying that the Disney Believe, they're saying it's late 2027.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They're saying it's late 2027. But I'm just saying, if it is late 2027, I mean, Halloween is during that time. I'm just saying. Just throwing it
Don't play
out.
with me, bro. Don't play.
Don't play with me either because trying to get time.
Tropical Americas, HHN, and the new boat or the new cruise ship, that'd be insane.
And trying to do that in November, December, good luck because my bosses will give me the mill.
Well, no, because if it is in around the October time,
Right, September, October.
That's even touching it.
really,
Yeah,
even for October.
Yeah. As soon as September 30th hits, I'm telling you right now, it goes from, oh, enjoy time with your families to, nope, you're going to work or else.
But you met me at you met me down. We all kicked at the end of October last year. You came out.
Well, yeah, but that's different. I'm in state. I'm not back east.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And then trying to buy tickets for air flights, you better buy that shit a year in advance. Because any closer to that, you're paying quadruple the price, and that's like, okay, no. It's not happening.
I mean, but as I said, like just throwing it out there because I think honestly, because 2028 would be odd for me with that. But one of those years, I would like to experience Orlando's.
Oh, for sure.
Well, yeah, because 27 do that, and then is Lion King coming out in 27 in Paris?
They didn't say.
They didn't specify?
No,
We're still banking on 2031 though, because UK
2031 for Universal UK.
Universal, and then
Yeah.
hop over the water and go to Lion King at Paris.
no.
I mean, that works because I'm hitting Japan this year, so I mean, I guess it works.
Hey,
I'm going
I
for it.
I encourage you, Tommy, take all the content. I'm telling you, you are in a small select group of us that get to experience that. So film everything.
I get the date soon.
Yeah, whatever you don't think is content, film it anyway.
Just get it anyway. Huh?
Just film it anyway. Just do it. Because
Yeah.
I will tell you, Tokyo Sea, just the Tokyo Resort in general. Oh my God! If
It's
our
like beautiful, both are on. No,
highly of it, you're gonna have the time of your life. Telling
too
you
much
now.
to do. I mean, there's those two. If you travel outside of Tokyo, you got Universal, you got the Pokemon Park, you got the Nintendo
That's
Museum.
true.
I don't know what I'm gonna be able to do. I'll have to go back with you guys for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, because when I eventually go out, as I said, I need at least
2 weeks.
minimum, probably 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll take a free trip. Shout out Price is Right.
yeah. Like, I mean, come on. You can't beat
Oh God! But
Yeah.
that's gonna
Well,
do it for me.
Yeah, I think we're wrapping it up because literally we're hitting that 2-hour mark. We were only anticipating. I was like, yeah, maybe like an hour and a half. But man, when we get our juices flowing and we're having that conversation, man, that's when you know it's a good live. But I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. It was a great conversation with Halloween Horror Nights. We even dived into the Fast and the Furious. We talked about films coming out into theaters and where it like projects in the box office range and with Obsession and Backrooms and all that good jazz. But I'll start with you, Mr. Theme Park Conductor, Mr. Choo Choo himself. choo choo ka-choo, back to the big old blue. If you want to let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
Absolutely. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor, on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we have amazing guests like the only Mr. Hollow Gelato with his spicy theme park Italian opinions, and our young Steven Spielberg of Food Reviews, Tommy Toon World, and UFC content creator / coverage. I love Tommy Toon's, just ethics on filming a video. It's funny. It's really, really funny. We didn't make a public video, but I will tell you, there was a group of us at Disneyland, including Jason Hill.
I posted it.
Oh, you did post it. Okay, well,
on a story.
Okay, well, on Tommy's story, me, George, his wonderful wife Abby, Jason Hill, and Madame Lizelle, we all individually did our version of a Tommy Toon food review. And I'm like, after looking at everyone doing it, I was like lost in translation how good it turned out. It was funnier than hell.
I have to say, Tommy, after actually getting it out of my system of doing that, I could see why you do that. It's very therapeutic.
It's fun, but it just comes when it comes. Like, it's not every time. You notice that.
But I love how it's your thing.
But like, the cringe is here. Take the cringe.
Oh yeah, like literally, like anytime, like when I see you with a plate of food, I know what's coming. It's
taking the cringe and I'm running with it.
You kind of have that sinister grin that Freddy the Fazbear bucket above your head has. Yeah, that face. Yeah, that. When you start seeing that, you know something's up. You know it. You
never know where it happened at too, man. You never know. But yeah, no, just rolling into me real quick, man. Hollow Gelato, thanks for having me on. I'm down for a part 2. Or I'm down to talk more Fast and Furious. Or I'm down to talk more about horror or whatever you got. And then, man, Conductor, you've been killing it like always. Just keep rocking, man. Keep getting those updates, man. When you get to the park before everybody, that's where it's at, dude. You're the first a lot of the time, too, man. This is crazy. But yeah, you guys together, too, man. You guys killed on the live streams. Keep knocking all those out together. I do have to admit, I'm ready just to move down to SoCal. I'm in NorCal. I'll be down there soon. You have to wait on the date. But yeah, man, to be honest, HHN season's here. Fast and Furious season's here. And I can't wait. So yeah, man, you can find me at Tommy Toon World right here on YouTube. I got 2, what Conductor likes to say, evergreen content from Bricky. It's like 2 restaurants from Disney that I put a lot of effort in. It's going to come out very soon. Trying to flip my YouTube channel into being all food as the main priority, or at least always having food in the priority. So the next video is coming up, like HHN Vegas. It'll still have the cool events like the UFC X and, like I said, Halloween Horror Nights and stuff like that, but I'll always have some food integrated in there. So keep rocking with me. I'm trying to do a different style too. And then on Instagram and TikTok, that more day-to-day at TommyToon_. Let me tell you, there's a lot going out on those channels. I'm trying to hit 10K on IG. So let's lock in.
100%.
There you go. And of course, everyone, you know me as George, the Disney Italiano, host on this YouTube channel, Hollow Gelato, where Abby and I cover all theme parks with Disney, Universal, Knott's Berry Farm, even the cruise line. We do event vlogs, life vlogs, out of theater reviews. We do it all because just like how we are the desserts of Hollow Gelato, we're like Baskin Robbins. We like all 31 flavors, baby. So in that case, we want to thank you so much for joining this live. I'm George, the Disney Italiano. And as I always say, in Disney Italiano fashion, stay safe, stay healthy, stay Disney. Italiano out.